Good evening.
That worked very well.
Well, indeed.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Fine, I think.
Can you hear me well?
I can. It's a little bit muffled, but yeah, I can. Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely fine, yes.
Right. So, scammers.
Yeah, well, it works very well for a very long time already, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say, how long have you known about it?
Myself, to be honest, not that long. It started about a year ago or so, but very quietly. As a matter of fact, I figured out once I checked my stories. You know, that's the only way on Instagram.
Yeah.
Basically, once you post something, then you can more or less check whoever was watching.
Yeah.
And then I see my picture and it's not my name.
Yeah.
So I get curious.
That's the thing that really, I don't think many people understand, is the fact that they just steal pictures as if you were nothing. It's like having pictures of dogs and cats, and I'll give them this name and this name and this name. And it's like, you're not a person to them.
That's right.
You're a thing to use.
That's right. That's
so
right.
how do you go with contact? Do people send you messages?
Well, first of all, that's how the way it started. So it started with me finding out on my stories that I saw a picture of myself and with a different name. So I was like, that's really strange. So I took a screenshot and posted it to my story, blocked that person, and then I was contacted by a lovely lady, and she said, you should contact Scam Haters United. They will help you. They deal with things like that. So that's the first contact I've had with you. And then since then, it was about 36 that I personally found. And thanks to you, most of them were blocked, or I believe pretty much all of them were blocked.
Yeah.
And then funny was that's how it started. So it was not a big deal to me. And then some ladies, and mostly ladies, started writing me, hello, okay. And then, is that you? And they sent me a screenshot of some account.
Yeah.
And then my answer was, well, it is my picture, but it is not my account.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, yeah, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
So I must tell you, I'm watching your show frequently, and I see these poor guys. They like even get angry and get mad because they say that people scream at them and shout at them, and they're angry. So I'm very, very lucky. So far, no one was really mad at me. So far, no one was really mad at me. Very, very lovely people, and I completely understand, and they know it's not my fault.
Yeah.
So I asked them, like, how did you find out? And then they told me that there is this thing that exists. You probably heard of it. It's called reverse image search.
Yeah. Yeah.
That really helps a lot.
Yeah.
You basically, it's free of charge. It's a free software. You just put into Google reverse image search, and then you upload the picture, and then it shows you whatever it shows you. But then you can very quickly find out who is who.
It is good because I think even if another scammer, that if a lady finds out that she's talking to not you, but a different name, they will go to the scammer and say, are you real? Well, scammer always says I'm real. But I think once they've started and they've found it on the reverse image search, I think that puts some doubt into their mind. And I think they can start to think, well, I'm not quite sure. Yeah. And to me, it's the beginning of the end.
True.
And it's just getting people to actually search right at the beginning.
Yeah. But the biggest problem is, I believe, they're not really harming myself, or even if they use pictures of my daughter, because there's this fishy things like, I need money, my daughter is sick, or no, my relatives, and so on. So that's not really a big problem to me. Of course, I hate it that they're using pictures of my daughter. And again, it's my own fault. Why would I put a picture out to the public of my little girl or myself?
21 and everybody does it.
I know, but it's debatable for sure. But the biggest problem, I believe, is that this poor women, or even men and women, or this poor people, because they do build a relationship to this picture, and they do have feelings, I guess, and It's awful. I was talking to a wonderful lady. I believe she's from England, and it was really, it hurt my heart hurt me, because she said, I did not go to restaurants during this COVID, and I saved up my money, and then I sent this person all my savings, basically. Well, not going to restaurants, not going to pubs and bars and having drinks. And I was like, oh my God, it's so sad, really. And I'm really sorry.
They believe, it's like every word that comes into their phone on the text that they believe. And so they get to the point where they would never dream of talking to your pictures, and they would never dream that it wasn't you. So they get so wrapped up in it, and when these people do ask for money, they get it
again. And yeah, and all I can say, of course, you basically at the end, you always know better at the end. But it was, well, you paid for an expensive school, really, but yeah, well, it just shows that these people are very good-hearted people, and obviously they care, and they're willing to help. Unfortunately, they all goes into wrong hands.
The thing is that they do tend to find nice people. They tend to find nice people who want to help. So if the scammer comes with a story that's really sad, that's where the money goes, because they really do want to help. So they're helping a bit at the beginning, so that when it goes on and gets a little bit more money, because he's going to come home to them, they don't think anything about it. They'll just pay it. So I've seen you on a ship. Have they had you on an oil rig as well?
No,
I
think not. But there is a really funny story. There was I would say a 25 to 30-year-old girl sending me a message like, hello, my dear, how are you? Unfortunately, all the ladies out there, usually you don't do this kind of things. No. Unfortunately. Well, but that's not the story. So some girl writes me, and then something was fishy, not right. And I said, okay, you know what? Why don't we start like this? You send me a picture of yourself, and just hold a piece of paper and just simply write my name or today's date or whatever. And then she wrote back, well, why is it necessary? I don't understand. You don't believe me, or so on. So that is absolutely clear for me. So I tell him, obviously, probably it was him. So I tell him, do you know what I think? I think you're a guy sitting somewhere in an internet cafe trying to fish for money and scam people. And believe it or not, and I even have the screenshots of that, so I will post that later. The person wrote me, well, sir, actually, yes, it's true. And you got me thinking, but the problem is I have no other way. My family is so and so, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you can help me. And I was like, oh my God, they're really, really good. Even I found out or told him straight that you are a fake. Still, he tried to convince me to send him money. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Incredible.
The sort of the confession is as much of a lie as the scam. And funnily enough, just before we came on, I've actually got the girls on the Facebook page to take over for me, because I had one that's come to me, and he's come to me as Thomas Lindegaard Madsen, who's a ship's captain. And so he's come to me as Thomas, the most terrible English. But I said I didn't believe him. So he said to me, you're a scammer. I said, no, I'm not. I just won't be scammed. So he's saying to me, send your pictures, send your pictures. So I've left him to the girls. They'll destroy him. But they get so angry. Well, they get so offended when they can't scam you. So they do, and they'll say things like, I'll never scam again. I'm really sorry. But will you just help me because I'm really poor? They sat there with an iPhone. They've got internet. They've got everything.
Yeah.
But, they're really poor.
And the problem is that this time now, everything goes so fast and so easy. You can sit wherever and talk to whoever, just like me. So I'm in Vienna now. You're in the UK.
Yeah.
The communication is stable. It's good. You hear me well. You see me well. So everything's much easier now. And it's not something that was invented yesterday. It started easily with all these letters. Oh, I inherited so much money. Could you just, sir? Yeah, well, that was the first starters, Then they got better and better, like PayPal. Send me your verification. And then it continued with the banks. Oh, this is the bank warning. Please send us your old whatever pins and
Yeah.
hooks, and we will send you new ones. But in Vienna, I must tell you, I know you specialize into more or less stealing pictures, scamming people,
Yeah.
sending money, which still works well, unbelievably, but it does. But in Austria, they found out a new thing, which is absolutely crazy, and I'd like to tell you about that. So what these people do is they steal your envelopes from your post box. They take them out carefully. For example, your electricity bill. Then they open them somehow with a new technique. They exchange the payment bill. So in our case, it's the IBAN or the sort code, and put their own, seal it carefully, and place them back. So a normal person, you open up your post box and you see, oh, my electricity bill. Okay, that's the number. Here we go. Send, paid. Can you imagine? So they're getting better and better and finding new tricks. Incredible.
They do a lot. They do a lot like that with email as well to companies, where they'll say, you know, sometimes we've heard where somebody sold a house, and they think it's the lawyer and the real estate agent that's contacting them and saying, can we change the bank account that the money's going to go into from the mortgage or something? So they change the bank account, and of course then they've stolen the money. They'll do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you heard of this new, in Germany again, a new thing. They call a person, usually 60 plus, 65 plus, and they call them by their name. Like, for example, hello, Susan Miller. It is the police. We would like to warn you, in your neighborhood, on the street where you live, there's been a robbery. And we found the people, and it looks like you are going to be next. So if you have any money, any gold, or any valuable things with you, I will send my colleague. We have a new special thing for that. The police officer will pick it up. Don't worry, it's all insured and secured. So we will be with you shortly. Are you at home right now? Well, yes, of course. And a police officer comes to your home. You basically freely give him whatever you want to keep safe, and they take off. Can you believe that? And it works.
They're talking, they're doing, I mean, it's one thing stealing your pictures and talking to women as you, but I mean, it's something else when they turn up as themselves in a uniform to somebody's store. Is there anybody left that's honest, Dennis? Really? Anybody that, because it just seems to me that everybody wants everybody else's money.
Well, I can't tell you. I don't know if it's the time or not, or what it is, but it's very hard, apparently, to make an honest buck. I don't know. But these people, they come up with these super clever ideas, and they follow up perfectly, and it all makes sense somehow. The stories, and this was a robbery, and of course I'd like to help. Coming back.
Scare people, they scare people as well, and I think an online scam works very much like that, because so often if a woman tries to get out of the scam, they'll then start to make threats to her. I'm going to come and get you, I'm going to come and kill you and your children, and things like that, and that's how they keep them, because they're so scared. True,
but again, in this case, of the most thing what happens on Instagram is that really they play with feelings of other people. And they do steal pictures of other people, and do a lot of harm and damage. And people are embarrassed because, I talked to these ladies and I said, if you'd like to come to join the show today, probably, because maybe people would like to hear it from your direct story. And they said, well, I don't feel comfortable. I'm a little bit ashamed of that. And I said, you should not be ashamed. This person should be ashamed who stole your money, basically. So there's no need to be ashamed.
No, people are ashamed, and I don't know why, because the word victim, I quite like the word victim, because that means somebody's done something bad to you.
100%.
I agree. Yourself, you haven't been stupid and let it happen.
True, and I also believe the problem is if you don't speak up and if you don't let other people know, this will just happen again. That's how it is.
Yes, and it, I've been doing this a long time. And it's got worse, and it's probably the biggest crime that nobody's ever heard of, because it's everywhere. It's in every country, and it's just massive. But what gets me is that they'll have your pictures, and they'll have Thomas' pictures like they've just used on me, and they just use them for everybody. So whether it's gay men, straight men, not gay men, straight women, or whatever, they use the same pictures.
Yeah, That's true.
And just go with it. Of course, once they've got them onto Hangouts or WhatsApp, they don't really know who it is. So it's just, how are you today, dear? And, I mean, Dennis, I cannot see you calling anybody dear or honey.
Hello, my brother. It is me. Please send me your money.
Yeah, well, yeah, this one tonight, Thomas one, started to talk to me in Nigerian and call me brother because I didn't believe it was.
Thank you. Bless you, my dear. God is with you. Yeah, we know that. Thank you. But God doesn't want to steal your money. You do.
It's just getting to know what to do about it.
Sorry.
The reason I like to do these is because if they do, if somebody's using your pictures, and they will very often give them a phone call, and the voice on the other end of the call is pure African, and they're saying it's you, and now to me, maybe it's because we're European, I don't know, we're used to different accents. And an African accent is nothing like an Austrian accent, is it?
No, nein, it's not. Of course not. This is how Austrian accent sounds like. But of course, it's far away from African English, I'd say, from an internet cafe, clearly. But
they like hotels, actually. Internet cafes, when they start to make a little bit of money, because they're all scamming teens, they book hotel rooms. Because it's nice and warm, and they've got free Wi-Fi. So they go in hotel rooms when they've got there, But it's so open there. Yeah, I mean, they're celebrities in that country.
Right, and there's nothing no one can do, because clearly the police is not interested to investigate anyone who is in Nigeria or wherever they are, because it's just too far, and you'll never find these people. Thank you again very, very much for doing what you're doing. I love it that you post the pictures. You think you're talking to this man. The truth is, it's this guy.
They do like to confess. So, I mean, that's great for me. I love the ones that confess, because I can say, right, you're not talking to him, you're talking to him. Swap it in your head. Because obviously, I mean, the women that contact you, they've been talking to you. The lady that sent all the money, they've been talking to you, so they have you in their heads.
Yeah, I know. And there's so many. Are you still here?
Yep.
Okay. I'm really sorry for that, but they know it's not my fault, and I feel terrible, to be honest.
Something that to me, though, we've got to stress is the fact that it's not your fault, and not only that, you can't do anything about it.
Right, and even if it's public or not public, or if it's private account, once they have the pictures, they are out there. That's a problem. And well, of course, I must have the right to post myself or pictures of my family, right? But everybody's telling you, please be careful, don't post anything, don't get connections with people you don't know. Something that feels not right. Trust your guts, trust your feelings, don't fall for that.
Yeah.
It's just untypical behavior, but you can really, I mean, once you get the hang out of this, you can really quickly find out. And again, what is it worth? Send me a picture of your face holding something in your hand, no problem.
When Pam and I do our live chats on a weekend, then we can watch the Yahoo boy groups with the Photoshop people. Mr. Editor is called, and he practices doing Photoshops, because we went from the signs with the thing on, so we said we'll get them to hold up the hands like this or some, so then in the week they do the Photoshops with a hand like this in front of them, so they are getting quite good.
And this thing, the problem is that technology goes so fast and so well that this face swap, face change, you can do pretty much everything. So sooner or later we're going to talk to each other, two different people.
But the thing that I really like are the voiceovers. Going back to your voice again, I really like the voiceovers when they sort of pretend it's you talking, but the mouth doesn't go. And I mean, the thing.
Yeah, that's great.
I love that. I shouldn't laugh because
there's old TV shows where they try to sell things on TV, and then translate it into different languages, and it goes like, oh, Hello, Susan. Oh, hello, Frank. Look,
Yeah.
this wonderful pen. Yeah.
Oh no, I mean, we shouldn't laugh, but we do.
No, yes, we do, because it's better to laugh about this. But if the truth is, it is dangerous. It is dangerous because it harms families, it harms people. You know, people lose their money, and
They do, and they lose families because we come across a lot of people who turn their back on their families for the man they're talking to. That's only because what the scammers put into their head, and they'll say things like, "Oh, don't listen to them. They love me when I get to you, I'll make it all right with them." So
Right.
they can divide families and things like that, and it's ever so sad, what they do, because at the end of the day, it's the lady that's trusted who's in the middle of all this.
True.
And it is really bad. And I think the one thing you should have control over is the way you look. You should not. It's the ultimate sort of identity theft, stealing your face.
Yeah.
and using it. But I mean, all we've got to, all we can do is get the word out there that this happens and it's not you.
Right, I absolutely agree. And again, you helped me several times. I sent you this account. Yeah, once I posted this on the story, just watch out, fake account, please report to Instagram. And then once I started to type in this person's nickname or whatever it was, then I see 4, 5, 6 more pictures. And it was like Frank B123, Frank 123B, FRANK, oh my God, there's like some obsession because there are so many pretty men and pretty women, and I found minimum 36 of these fake accounts with my pictures. Minimum.
Which is creepy. I mean, it must have been creepy for you. It must have been a shock.
Well, of course. The first one was like, really, oh my God. And then I started posting this, and then my friends told me, oh my God, again, what's going on? This is a crazy person. But this crazy person is sending out 5,000 or 10,000 emails per day or whatever requests.
And you see on Instagram,
if he's got one hit,
But the thing is, Dennis, that they can send out, say they send out 50 follow requests on Instagram. They will probably get 40 people replying to them. Of those 40 people, they will get probably 38 of those to hangouts. And probably from over half of them, they'll get money. That's how easy it is. But one thing we always say is they will try and fake a video call.
Oh, yeah.
So they'll play a video of you on a laptop. They point the phone at it, press video, and so it looks like you are doing the video. Now they
always come up with some excuses. They're professionals. They're bad connection. The video doesn't work quite well. But whatever.
But women say to us, "Oh, it was him. I saw him move."
Oh no.
Well, it's not enough. This is a video call. This is a video call where I can speak and you can answer me, and they can't. Yeah, they can't do anything about that. They can't have a conversation on a proper video call at all.
Video chat, it's easy. You found me on Instagram. Let's have a video on Instagram. Let's have a video on WhatsApp, whatever. That's easy. But why don't they do this? Or do they?
Well, again, it's too easy believed. The bad reception is too easy believed.
Well, you want to believe it, I guess.
That's right. Because they feel reassured because they've seen you on a video. They've seen you move. So they feel quite sure that, oh, it was him. It was just on that occasion. We couldn't have a conversation. We couldn't talk.
Right.
Instead of really pushing to have a proper video chat.
Right. Okay, but then there is also the trick, even like sending money on Western Union, which is the worst thing to do and the oldest trick as well. But then they say, well, can you send me money? And then, okay, well, I know you're Frank, whatever. And then, no, the problem is I lost my passport. So there is another friend with me. He's a local. He's got his passport with him. So send it on his name. So there is always something. But
I like it. I like it when, you've got somebody who's, stuck in Egypt, but send it to the Nigerian agent because he'll get the money to him. And I just want to say to every woman on the planet, stop and think. Because I think when you see a scam, we can always pick something that should have been seen. So I know it's easy for us because we see thousands of them.
Right.
But if people took that little bit extra time and
Yes.
not just believed absolutely everything that their stranger was telling them, they would see that there was things happening that weren't quite right.
Absolutely. I mean, I know people, they lost a lot of money because
Yeah.
of greed, because, you know, someone scammed them over a great deal and they have money, but they just want more. And there was clearly an unbelievable deal and not possible, but they still go for it because of greed. But in this case, it's clearly feelings. I mean, people are doing this because they want to help, and they even take their last money or their savings just to help this person in need. And again, on one hand, I think it's a wonderful thing to do, and it's absolutely great people to do that. It's just very unfortunate that the money could have been used for much better purpose.
And it damages people because
Right.
obviously their trust is
stronger. That's the problem, because they get money, so they will not stop. And
No.
I was in Thailand, in Bangkok, and then I see all these little kids on the street, and it was really late at night, I believe 1 a.m. or so, or 2 even, and this 6-7-year-old kids are running after you, you know, like, oh, please, please give me $1. And absolutely, I'm telling you, it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
But if everyone gives them money, this is never going to stop, because this is the perfect tool. The parents send them out, go get money, and they go all night, and people pay them because they, oh my, it's just a child. Come on.
Yes.
I know it's terrible not to give them any money, but I believe it's an absolutely wrong thing to support this thing. It is wrong, because if you don't give them money, if no one gives those kids money, this will stop eventually because it's not working. But if it works, it will go on forever.
This is what we like to say, is give them silence. If somebody comes to you and starts talking to you or anything like that, give them silence, because if we can get where they're not going to get so many people to talk to, you know, we said before about the police, they're not going to stop it. The only thing that's going to stop this is when they get their money.
Yeah. Absolutely. Right.
And if they don't talk to them, if they just get silence.
I absolutely agree, because they talk to you, you send them money, it's a proof. It works perfectly. Thank you. Bye-bye. And even I know a story that a lady was, she was contacted twice. You know, like, oh, sorry, I lost contact. And he's coming back because it's like, oh, maybe it works again. You know, I come up with this story. I had an accident. Oh, my dear, can you believe it? I was in an accident at hospital, very bad, broken leg, must pay. And they do it again, or not. I don't know. It's terrible. It is terrible.
They do. And they'll come back and say, I wouldn't really bother you, but, you know, the child's in hospital, and the hospital won't do anything about it until I pay $10,000 or something. And
right.
They get, you know, they do get it. And it's a shame, because, you know, they are taking it from nice people. I
absolutely agree. From nice,
you know, if they want to,
kind,
you know,
friendly people. Yeah.
If they want to steal between themselves, I'm happy with that. But it's coming to other people, and it's using people. You see, that to me is very offensive. That they're looking on Instagram to find pictures that they can steal.
You know, it's unbelievable for me, because after all this face recognition stuff and this Facebook and Instagram, they know so much about everyone. They can stop it without any problems. I'm sure of that. They can do it. But let me ask you, you as a professional, what can we do, or what should we all do to prevent this or to stop this somehow? Let's all do something for this. What is your personal opinion?
Not talk to strangers. I mean, you know, you tell children, you've got little children, and you will say to them when you go outside, or if you come out of school or something like that, don't talk to strangers. And yet you say that to an adult and they don't take any notice of you.
True.
And of course, social media is fine for the people that you know.
I know, but even, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but even with these children, we tell them all, don't never talk to strangers. But even these bastards, they find these tricks. They come to the child and say, your daddy sends me. Your daddy, he's in a very bad accident. Come with me.
Yeah.
Don't talk to strangers, but they're using the parents, you know, your father asked me to talk to you. So it's okay. Yeah. I'm not a stranger. So these are the tricks. So is there something that we can actively do to stop these bastards?
I actually think no. I actually think until they stop getting money, and that's the only way, if they stopped getting money, they would have to stop doing it. And that's the only way. Because the thing is that, you know, we'll have in Lagos, Nigeria, we'll have a few hotel rooms sending out your pictures and chatting to women. Now, the thing is, they know, I mean, the outlet to them is nothing because they're getting all the money in free. They know that most of the women they ask for money from will send money. So if they're talking, and it's about 80 to 100 that each person's scamming at any one time. And it's easy for them because they're on WhatsApp, they're calling them all, honey dear baby, so they can't get mixed up.
Honey dear baby, God bless you.
My queen.
Yeah.
The only way this will stop is when they stop getting money. Because if you don't get money from the first 10, the next 20 will send it.
Right.
You know, it's like buying in you know, when instead of, you know, when everybody sort of went out and bought all the toilet rolls at the beginning of COVID, you know, it's like that with scammers, really. They do everything in bulk. So they'll have so many women. They're not, and if the woman's a little bit resistant, well, they'll keep talking to her for a bit longer because they know they'll get the money. And that's what's got to stop. The sending of the money has got to be questioned.
Yes, it's true. But
instead of just
somehow a verification, you know, I know some people are against it because they think, okay, come on, we're like Big Brother is watching you. I mean, this is a long time ago already. We all know Big Brother is watching. But somehow a verification, not only this blue verification badge, but I'm talking about this account is verified. He sent his passport and we verified him somehow. I don't know if that's possible because then, you know, you're talking to a trusted account at least.
Dennis, I talk to Instagram. I talk to Facebook with people within Facebook and we can't get verified and they know me. I'm registered with them and we can't get, I don't know how they work. I don't know how that department works. You know, it's like gold dust having one of those little ticks. To me, you should have to show ID to make an account. It's too easy.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, if you don't want to put your own name on the account, because people are saying, oh, well, you know, sometimes you don't want to put your own name on, fine. That's fine.
But you know, they know internally that
they know
that's
well,
you.
I could have to send my passport in and they would have to see who I am. But when I make the account, I could make it as Donald Duck. But they know that Donald Duck is actually me because they've seen that passport.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And they're going to have to need some sort of, you can't just let everybody have a free-for-all. I'm going to make 50 accounts. I mean, I could go on there tonight. I could make 50 accounts with 50 different men and then go out and scam women. It's so easy. And it hasn't got to be that easy. You know, at least when they're going to rob a bank, they've got to go and rob the bank. This is so easy. They just sit down and go on their phone.
Yeah, well, I was talking to some bloggers and Instagram influencers, and they said that they use this kind of thing for marketing purposes. So they have to open 5 or 6 or 10 accounts.
Yeah.
And then even with their own name and pictures, so for cross promotion. So one account is taking care of 16 to 25-year-olds. Yeah. The other one is only makeup. And then they cross promote. And at the end, it all leads to this one main account that they actually all promoting. And Instagram does not want to stop that because they can show these beautiful numbers, 3 billion users, we've got this access. Yeah. And that is also a major problem, what we call a problem, because obviously we use it for a different purpose. But
it is, they want the numbers, and also they're passionate about being used for hate speech and politics. And that's fine, yeah, there will be hate speech on there will be politics on there, but they're not addressing fraud, and fraud is the biggest problem that they've got. On Facebook and on Instagram, fraud is the biggest problem that they've got. But because they're not addressing it, it's staying hidden, and it's got.
And even I'm blocking about 5 accounts per day, and now they have this new feature. Would you like to block any other accounts that they might create? Still, it you know, it's just too easy.
That doesn't work. I mean, it sounds good. Sounds very good. You know, would you know, if they're going to make another account, we'll block that as well. Oh yeah, that's really good. It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't, unfortunately. No. But again, please keep doing what you're doing. Please.
It's hard not to. It's like, you know, it's strange because, you know, all of us that work on the pages, you know something, and you know something's happening, and we know things that other people don't know, because not everybody knows about scams, you know. So because you know it's there, and because you know the damage it does, and because we know how big it is, you can't not do it. It's frustrating because we don't stop it. But we've got to somehow stop them getting money. That's the only way.
That's right. And I also know you do have a website as well. Is that correct? So
we have a website, which is just a Google blog, but I wanted something that would be searchable.
Great. I love it.
We've got that. Yeah, we've got that.
Support you. It would be much better to send you money, and then you can do so much more with that. You know, like Google advertisement, and then place that everywhere, warnings, before we send all this money to them. That's the wrong way to do.
We all get paid nothing. In fact, I'm a very good employer, because I always keep saying to the girls, when they've done well, I'm going to double their wages.
Oh yeah, that's easy. You mean from 0 times 2 is
0.
Oh,
I'm
no.
so good. Yeah. But yeah, this is it. We've got the Google blog, we've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, and we've got YouTube. Yeah. And we've got thousands and thousands of people. So we've got to, we've got to a lot of people.
And you're super active, and I know, and you support all these people, and you always help with Instagram. And again, thank you very much.
Well, I'm glad we can do it. Having the actual human contact at Facebook and Instagram is very, very useful, and we've had that for years, and it is very useful. I don't know what we'd do without it, to be honest, but it's just keeping going. And the thing is, Dennis, that send them to us, and we do. I would rather women came to us than you, because if they do start to use you a lot more, you're going to get a lot more women coming to you.
In a bad way.
Yes, in a bad way. The other week I was talking to Clayton.
When I try to find a date, it's really, really hard. And to be honest to you, it was not possible to ever find a date on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or whatever. But this guy is using my pictures. Not only they get to talk to girls, but they get even paid for this. Can you believe that? What am I doing wrong? I should guys. How do you do it?
But the thing is that they're going after the ones over 65. So that's not quite what you're looking for.
Well, it's not true, actually. I mean, not true that they're much younger. So I've met acquainted with much younger women, yes. I would say in their 30s, 40s.
Oh, because when they come to me, they come to me with sort of like 30-year-old Marines.
Serve their country, of course you must support them.
And and I'll say, well, I'm a bit old for you, because I know what they are. I'm a bit old for you. Oh, age is just a number. Not when you're my age, it isn't. It's a very large number that we don't want.
We don't want to send you a number, yeah. So don't you? Yeah. It's just a number.
And I always get that. I think, well, could you see me walking down the street with a 30-year-old Marine? They'll think I'm his grandma. So yeah. I mean, we need to get round everybody. Do you know, the thing is that if more people would talk about it, and more people knew it happened,
absolutely.
I want to get to the stage where when you're on Instagram or Facebook and you get a friend request or a follow request, they can look at that and think, oh, that's one of those scammers, and just get rid of it.
Right, and I absolutely agree. People should not be ashamed. The people who steal your money should be ashamed, and you should speak about it, just actually to warn all others or someone else. So that's very important. It's crazy. There are the 16-year-old stupid girls. They have, I don't know, 20 million followers. They post a picture while they're sitting on the toilet, and this goes around the world. I don't understand this. So there should be some tool somehow to spread this kind of information as well. Yes. Just to warn people, basically.
Yeah. And that's what we need. We need people to know about it. So thank you very much for doing this with me, Dan.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure to meet you.
It's so useful for me to have, if I'm talking to somebody, or any of us are talking to somebody who's using your pictures, it's worked so well for us being able to say, this is how he talks, this is what his voice is like, and this is what his personality is like. So it's helped a lot. Because, you you're sat there and you know, we can show somebody exactly who you are.
Right.
And no arguing with it. You know, he can't really sit there and say, oh, well, my queen, you know, it's really me. So they do work. But yeah, we just have to get the word out.
Absolutely, absolutely agree. And I'll try to, well, I'm promoting you. I'm telling to these ladies, please contact Scam Haters United. They're doing a great job. So talk to them.
I travel all over with you on your Instagram page. I love your pictures.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm very much, yeah, I love to see your show. And thank you again so much for doing what you're doing. And we should find a way to support you. And let's stay in touch. And I hope to see you soon.
Yep, we shall do this again, Dennis. You know, because we're getting near to in December, it starts to get really very intense. At the moment on the Yahoo Boy groups,
for Christmas they need fresh ones. You know,
at the moment on the Yahoo Boy groups, they're getting terrible. They want, you know, the cash out for Christmas, they call it.
Yeah.
And you know, we think big big stores that sell Christmas gifts, we think they make a lot of money. Nothing compared to what the scammers make. So, you know, they're starting now. So in December, I really want to hammer it home to people, you know, do not send money, because we have every single year, we have women going to airports.
That'd be funny to use my picture and say, do not send money to this guy. Do not send money to this guy.
No, but if you're young, he's looking for a date, we'll... You say
that's another talk.
Yes, well, you just need to talk like a Nigerian because they manage it.
You see, exactly.
But anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening, and thank you very much for everyone.
We'll talk again.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye bye.
Bye now.